Welcome to this episode of the Public Nuisance Podcast, brought to you from Killen Studios right here, where you can get all your content done. Family photo shoots, podcasts, you name it, it's right here. With us today, we have entrepreneur, business and fitness coach, MJ, not Michael Jordan, by the way, MJ Lennon. How are you, man? All good?
I'm good, bro. I feel out of place in the Public Nuisance Podcast. I feel like I'm a public servant, you know. I think that's more my place, like. But sure, there'll be a bit of yin and yang here, I'm sure.
You might just blend in it. You
yeah,
might just
you know
blend
what?
in
See, by the
it.
end of this podcast, I'll be telling people crazy stories from back in the day.
It always happens. I
They'll
think
get
people
it
come
out
in
of me
here,
for
and
sure. Yeah.
people come in and they're like, "Fuck me," and then I think people expect something different. It's okay if you sort of half know me, but you know me. Like, you know me. I've done the course and stuff for you, and you obviously fucking you know me well, so it's alright for you. But some people, I think people expect. I know you know I'm a bit of a fucking head case, but people expect me to be a big time head case, and they're actually taken back a bit, and they're like, "Fuck, you're actually not too bad."
Yeah, you can have a serious conversation from time to time.
From time to time. Get an hour every week in the studio.
I'm laughing because you're right. You know, we definitely do come from similar backgrounds. You know, you grew up in the West, I grew up in Short Strand, and you know, from a boxing background and stuff as well. Yeah. So, yeah, definitely, I know where you're coming from, bro.
You box for a couple of family members too, didn't you? Like?
I boxed with D, yeah. Me and D, we went away together a few times. He's a fucking reprobate, like, truth be told. He's an absolute lunatic. Yeah, I mean, where did we go to? I think we boxed in Wales together, and we boxed in Liverpool together. It was with the Ulster squad. Yeah. And we get done up like kippers quite a few times. Like, you know, we were going away, and I was like, and you'll know yourself, I used to hate making weight. And so there were times, see when you had to dry out and stuff overnight, and we were travelling overnight, you know, it wasn't like they were booking us flights, we were all getting through onto a bus.
Fuck ways, man.
Overnight on the boat, and then driving to the location as well. So see, by that time you're sitting up all night and you're just extra starving. I got up one morning and I was like, I'm having a fry, I can't be on board this here. And I downed a fry. We were all supposed to be drying out to make weight, and I ended up overweight or whatever, and I ended up fighting a guy who was a weight heavier, but see, because I had basically
boiling down from maybe the weight, so he's probably coming down from 2 weights above you.
So everyone had to do it then?
He's coming right down.
100%. It was a case of, right, Nanny, well, you can't make a weight, so he's going to have to move.
You got everyone battered.
I got everyone fucking cooked.
I got my own nose. You take someone else's weight.
Exactly, that's what happened.
That happened to me before in Holy Trinity, but only the other way. So I was moving up to 57, the boxing Ulster Intermediates, and I was 54 in the previous competition. I think it was under 18s. I won the under 18s 54, went to Europeans and all, but I just moved up to 57. Michael Hawkins Jr. Was boxing 54 because I was moving up to 57, and the Ulster Intermediate weigh-ins were the day after Halloween, so I drank a bottle of vodka. Halloween was blacked, right? Severely dehydrated. Went to the weigh-in the next day, smelled the drink. I was only 17 or 18. Stood on the scales, wearing 54 on the button, and he had to pull out.
Oh, jeez.
And he said, "You had to pull out." And he was like, "You're a fucking rat. You done that on purpose," but I didn't do it on purpose. I just didn't know. I just knew I was going to make 57 easy, because when I left the club that night, which was Halloween night, I was like 55 and a half, so it was easy going to make it. So I was I'll have a wee bit to eat.
Let me go and get a bottle of vodka.
I gotta carry it. And drank that, and just like, I didn't eat much, so just trying to carry it with all my mates, and then went in the next day. I was literally 54 on the button, and they would let me box 57. And Michael Hawkins had to pull out, so he had trained for weeks for fuck all.
Did you have to fight with a hangover? Was there fights on that day?
I got a straight final in the following week in the DC.
So it wasn't too bad then. You had time to gather yourself.
I had time to get over the hangover. I'm interrupting this episode to tell you about my sponsors, JFH Social and That Price Guy. JFH Social have 4 barbershops across 4 locations in NI where you can get your hair cut, check out their socials, get booked in, and get a freshen up. And let's not forget That Price Guy. We all know the work they do, the great community work they do, and the great charity work they do. They're making millionaires every other month. Amazing prizes. Check out their socials. Get on the link and get involved with some action and make yourself some cabbage.
I remember one time I went out one night, you know, it was just a squad of fellas and we were like on pints and everything else, and the next day, like I was still out, so it was like 4 a.m. and, you know, get up the next day and me and a couple of mates were out again. Yeah. Like 10 o'clock in the morning, and I had drank a couple of bottles of Bud, and I got a phone call from Paddy Fitz, and I was like, fuck, I want to answer. It's like, you can't not answer to him. And he's like, Lenny, what's happening? I'm like, nothing much, Paddy. How you getting on? Hadn't trained in weeks. And he's like, I need a favour. I'm like, what's happening? He's like, I need you to pull me out here. Somebody's pulled out of this fight, and I promised we'd bring someone. So I was like, all right, well, fair enough. When is he? Tonight. I know. And I was like, you're fucking joking me, Paddy. You serious? And he was like, I need your mate. It was in East Belfast. It was against some squatty. Oh, fuck. And I mean, his entire unit was there. All these guys all going absolutely crazy. And I was hanging. So I had to go home and go to bed for a few hours. I was hanging. Now, luckily, he was a wee ball, but he wasn't really technically good, great, you know what I'm saying? Good. So I just kind of danced around him for a few rounds and got through it. Yeah. I got fighter of the night and all. Dave Boy McCoy, and I was like, on the drink here, that night. I was like, oh my God. Oh, the things you do.
I boxed in East Belfast. It's intimidating. Like when I was a kid, we used to always have club shows with Alio. And we always like done like back and forward. They came just we went to Evans. Fuck me, that was intimidating. Yeah. East Belfast. I think we boxed like the Harlem Wolf Wellers Club or something like that.
Yeah, I fought in there before. It was
fucking chaos. Chaos.
I boxed in Bangor one night, and Sandy, like fair play to him, but Sandy, I wore a pair of Celtic socks, and I don't even know. Like, I don't even sport Celtic, like, I don't even barely watch football, but I think someone just says, here, stick them on, under your boots. So I was running about with Celtic socks under my boots, and we were fighting. Now, the whole place went quiet, because, you know what it's like yourself, all right, there'll be music and stuff, but then the whole place quiets down. But somebody up in the stand shouted something along the lines of, fucking get that Fenian bastard, something like that there when we were boxing. Yeah. And Sandy stopped the fight, like middle of the fight, got up into the ring, just shouted up on the thing, here was fucking, don't you dare talk to any fighter like that. And everyone, you were just kind of standing about going, because that doesn't happen in boxing, it doesn't matter where you're from or whatever.
Mutual respect. It's mutual respect, each other, and like if someone wants to wear whatever they want to wear, they can wear, there's no fucking harm done. Like,
yeah, you see people in, in the stands and stuff, and we've spoken about this before, where, they're armchair experts and they're shouting things like this here, and it's like they're, you're not going to come into the ring and do it, so don't be shouting 100%. Shit from the side. All right, cheer your guy on, but don't be, thinking that, you're going to be technically, because you've said to me before, after fights and stuff, you've got people coming up to you and they're steaming.
Still get it.
It's against Barbosa, you should have just done this here, and you would have stopped him.
I still get it. I think like you could have, like, you definitely won the fight, like, but then I think, like, because you were in the back garden, I think, like, the fighter's backyard, because, I think you took your foot off the gas a few rounds. I was like, fuck off, bro. I get this all the time. I'm like, go away from me, you fucking lunatic. It's fucking ridiculous. And then see, like, it happens in everything in life. I swear to God, like, I didn't realise it. Like, I was talking to, like, a couple of comedians, like, even Andy Ram was on last week, he was saying, like, people come to him and tell him, oh, you've, like, how to tell jokes. Paddy McDonald says it all the time. People coming up to him, he's like, go you into it. People come up to Paddy McDonald saying, hey, I was funny in school.
Timing was a wee bit off there, man.
He's like, fucking go you into it then. Fucking leave me alone. I'm on, like, see now, because I'm doing this podcast on my fucking TikTok and stuff, and I upload, like, the wee short clips. People are writing underneath them, slapping at me, going, fucking 35-year-old mom wearing a shell tracksuit. Seriously, get a life.
Oh my God.
Fucking loser. I mean, like, this is brilliant. People just, they're fucking out to get you no matter what. They always want to tell you what to do with your life, you know what I mean? Someone wrote yesterday, this is a true story, on my last TikTok video, someone tagged underneath it saying, because I was saying about stealing fucking grenade bars, right?
Oh, I seen that one,
He wrote underneath it, why, what's wrong, MTK money run out. And then the very next comment he tagged PSNI. He tagged PSNI. So he's trying to turn on me. God. Just for telling the fucking story for a laugh on this podcast.
Oh my God.
I'm like, fuck me.
Myth.
People are nuts.
See, I was, what I was thinking about the other day, because whenever you'd say to me about coming on this podcast, I mean, and you were laughing, you grew up in the West, as we were saying. I grew up in the Short Strand. There's always maniacs about, that I grew up with the absolute biggest reprobates in the world. And so there's two guys from the Short Strand, And whenever I heard you telling that story, I was like, I'm actually going to tell that on this podcast. And these two are the biggest reprobate you'll ever come across, right? So Slabs and Jimbo. And Slabs is a builder, so he drives about. Do you know the two of them? No?
No, I don't know.
You probably know them. You know the Roonies, like, right? You definitely know the Roonies. So the two of them, Slabs is a builder, and he brings Jimbo with him. Jimbo's never worked a day in his life, right? He has never... Just a sidekick, and he's just there for the crack, right? But a load of weeks ago, Slabs was at my 40th birthday, and he was telling me a story. He said a load of weeks ago, we were sitting in the van, and he was like, I went to open the door or something, I got there and just heard this big massive thud, and he was like, what the fuck happened there? Some delivery driver was driving up the side of the van, but your mom was in the wrong. Whatever happened, Slabs opened the door and just completely wiped your man out, right? Slabs and Jimbo got out of the van. He was, what the fuck happened? And your mom was laying on the deck, and you know, his fucking head was busted up, and his bike, you know, was laying turned upside down and whatever. And Slabs was like, oh Jesus. So he went over and he lifted your man up. He was, you all right, mate? You all right? And your mom was like, oh, Jesus, my bike. So Slabs was like, look, I'll fix it, mate. Don't worry. And Slabs lifted up the bike, but he didn't realise it was one of them, you know, electric ones. And Slabs let the handle go, and it took off, right? He says it took off, and it's just smashed into something, and everything went everywhere. And he was like, oh, Jesus Christ. He was like, man, I'm so sorry. And then your mom was like, look, it's all right, don't worry about it. Your mom was like, look, I'll tell you what, just give us 200 quid and I'll forget about it.
Off.
I know, and then Slabs was like, who the fuck think you're talking to, mate? Don't you fuck yourself? And, you know, just this whole, and so the two of them started arguing, and then your man sped off anyway. About a half an hour later, Slabs and Jimbo were driving down the road, and Slabs says to Jimbo, what's happening? You want to stop and get lunch here? And Jimbo was like, nah, I'm all right. Slabs was like, what do you mean? Have you got anything with you? Here was I. And he just pulled out like 4 sandwiches that he stole on the door. So your mom was letting busted up, got his head smashed, bag stolen, and while Slabs was fixing him, Jimbo dipped into his bag, stole his sandwiches.
That's teamwork. That's fucking good teamwork.
Oh my
Jimbo's
God.
in having the time of his life going, corned beef, chicken tikka to me.
I was like, like, of all the people that your man could have crashed into, that was the worst ever.
The biggest crooks.
I mean? Oh my God.
Fuck me, probably fucking big Shrek, and he's probably been sacked.
Big got trashed, delivery stole, head busted open.
And you're on the timer now eating their sandwiches. Fuck me, imagine sitting in the house with their sandwiches going, where the fuck is that delivery driver?
I know.
We're like emailing delivery, where's my sandwiches? This fucking busted up going, sorry, I had an accent.
Absolute belt.
Really going, where the fuck am sandwiches?
Trust Jimbo to even think at in that moment, you know what I'm saying? It's just the type of Comanche.
He's going,
he was like, give us a sandwich.
We see people like that, they're fucking brilliant, because they see an opportunity, they miss nothing, like, they've nothing to learn. People like that who just are like, fuck, this is an opportunity. Like,
100%. And you know a million people like that from the West, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the type of people that I grew up with. And, you know, you said earlier on, obviously, you know, I kind of see myself as a businessman these days and everything else, and because I got a lot of businesses and everything else going on. But, you know, I never forget those dudes, like, because I swear, like, see, whenever I'm in their company, because a lot of, you know, what you deal with on a day-to-day basis, you know yourself as an entrepreneur, it's just like constantly putting out fires. But see, whenever I meet up with those lads, you just forget about everything, and it's just non-stop laughs. Like, see, whenever he told me that, my head was actually busting with laughter, just because I knew it was 100%.
Like, you're just thinking about it, and you can't tell you can't wait to tell other people who know them, and you're like, fuck me, like, and it just, that's near enough becomes like the topic of the day, because you're just going, fuck, I was a belter, like, stuff like that.
Cracker.
But you need that, like, you need, like, it's character, and then it's people who you grow up with creates who you are as well, and then it's that same bit of crack. And then obviously if you venture off into your business, which is fucking high pressure shit all the time, like you say, putting fires out all the time, and then it's refreshing to get that back in you, because it's always in you. That bit of humour's in you, always in you. You know what I mean?
I heard Jordan Peterson actually talk about this before, where he's like, you know, people from working class backgrounds get that type of humour. You know, I could probably tell that story to someone who's, like, you know, maybe, and they're like, that's a bit bad crack.
Is it that for?
And like, you know, the
storm. 300 quid. walked away fucking up.
What are you doing stealing grenade bars? I was so hungry.
I was not, I fucking
paid £3 for it.
50 grenades loaded, they not miss it.
You know, I heard Jordan Peterson say before, he's like, you could stick a bunch of people, you know, from a working class background in a kitchen, you know, scrubbing dishes all night, and you're guaranteed that they'll start torturing each other and they'll have a laugh 100%. About that scenario. Or you stick them in jail and they're going to have a laugh no matter where they go, because it's the side of life that sometimes you see. But if you take someone who maybe hasn't grown up in you know, areas like we did, where you see those type of characters, that type of behaviour is a wee bit...
take them back, Pat. It's like, obviously, on building sites, it's just all the stories you hear from people on a building site, like apprentices get tortured, go and get me a fucking glass hammer, and people are going to... It's just all stories you hear. That's like part of the humour being on a building site, but it's all people from working class areas who work on a building site. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. You wouldn't go into a law firm and people going here, go and get me a fucking left-handed pen.
Of course, yeah.
You wouldn't get that in a...
Does that stuff even happen in building sites these days? I don't know. It's kind of changed now, hasn't it?
There does be, like... My mate John, he's fucking forever. John Nugent, he's forever torturing people, and he's like, but it's almost like a reverse role. Yeah, he's torturing all the air lads. He's sitting like
They're done with it.
He's sitting with the air lads like after his phone. He's like, well, what'd you get up to the weekend there? And I read and all. And they're like, oh no, fuck, I'm too old for that. All right, you know, fuck, you're like a spring chicken on this building site. There's more life in you and all. And he's recording them and he's laughing. He's reversing it, whereas like he's getting the older lads now. You know what I mean? Yeah. And he's one of the younger ones. Like, fucking, you wouldn't get that. Like, probably. I think kids now are probably too switched on. They've probably heard all the stories over the years, and they're like, go and get me this, go and get me that, and they're going to ask for tools, and then they're going, fuck off.
It doesn't fly anymore. Yeah,
kids are smarter now. Social media and all, they'll probably get the fucking... Kids don't even work on building sites anymore, better still. Don't even work. Fucking weird.
Everyone's a content creator now.
Everyone's just on their phone 24/7, and they're fucking... Hey, what's this thing? This is actually interesting as fuck. There's these kids, they're from Belfast, but they just go... I don't know if you've seen this, they go around... I don't know where, like around the UK, just discovering abandoned buildings. It's fucking interesting.
Oh yeah, my kids love this.
Yeah, I was hooked last night. I was up at 6 this morning. I was laying in bed still 20 to 12 last night, going through all these videos, going, what the fuck? This is insane.
Yeah,
they'll just find anything. It's creative. I think it's class what people do and what people discover on social media, like. And ways to earn a living. They must be, I don't know what they're doing or how they're earning a living off this, but that just seems to be all what they do. Like
most likely views on YouTube and getting paid. Because so my kids are all over it. Like, I mean, they've watched it.
I'm hooked now. Like, that's me now. I probably go home at night and scroll through their YouTube channel and just see all the shit they've discovered. Like, abandoned hotels and abandoned fucking asylums and everything.
I seen one, I don't know if it was those lads my kids were showing me, that it was like an abandoned car showroom.
Seen that?
And all the cars were still in it.
Fortunes.
All the cars were still there.
All classic cars.
Was that like in the UK or something? Was it?
They were from here. I'm kids from here, and I went to some. Like I seen one last night. They were in Stoke, like a big abandoned, like a big. I don't even know, like an opera house sort of thing. Like somewhere there'd be plays and there's like, and they had the head for an hour and a half because when they get in. They set their arm off and the police came with sniffer dogs and they got away anyway, but the police left and then they were running around recording everything. And I was like, fuck, they must just travel all around the UK, get these videos, stick them on YouTube and just rake in the views. Like,
class.
It's interesting, like, because you don't realise what's out there. Like, I was reading the comments last night, they got this like boutique hotel, but it looks modern. But it's definitely abandoned because there's like mold and stuff on the carpet and mold on the beds and all, but everything's in it. TVs in every wall in the rooms, beds made. It's mad, like how it just stopped. Because like
it's
just a big massive hotel, and like there's people lying homeless in the street. They get just fucking if they were to discover it, just go up there and put the head down.
Crazy.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like someone somewhere just left that to go to shit, and like it's class. Inside it still looks class, like modern enough. So it can't be abandoned that long, know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's fucking stuff like that's interesting.
At Halloween there, my kids, so there's a guy down the street from us and his wee lad would play with, you know, my kids and all.
Yeah.
He brought them to, at Halloween, there's this abandoned house that's out by, I think it's out by Stonyford or something like that, and done the same thing. So they were running about, you know, videoing the abandoned house because they had seen that on there. But I mean, there's places close to you that are just like that. In fact, there's a hotel in Donegal. I think it's I can't remember the town it's in, but I've seen it loads of times and it looks brand new. So it just looks like you could walk into it, but it's been abandoned for years. Like it's just been left there. Can't remember. Is it in Lifford? There's a hotel in Lifford, like on the corner or something.
I don't even know.
You imagine
we done it I don't know if you know where Mackerlane's Bakery used to be, down in Norfolk, just off of Glen Road, where Stacked is. It's just up there, and the left it used to be Mackerlane's Bakery, like a big bakery, like a massive factory that just created Mackerlane's fucking bakery products.
They were cooking all in there,
and we broke in there like years and years ago when we were kids, and it was abandoned, and like we spent the full summer in there and we loved it. There was machines, massive, there was rats everywhere, like, but it was machines. There was still buns. You could smell the sugar in the place. Like it was fucking. There was boxes and boxes and boxes of like boxes. Do you know what I mean? Like bun boxes and like we tray bake boxes and stuff like that, lying everywhere. And there was like a big shutter where like delivery trucks would have come in and stuff. And we opened that up and threw all the boxes over it, and then we were jumping off the pier, and like we had the best time ever. And one of my mates fucking burnt it one day. No one, still to this day, no one knows which one of our mates it was. But I remember we were on it, and we just looked, and the place was going like flames were flying everywhere. And we were like, who the fuck was that? No one ever to this day admits who it was. So we don't know what one of our mates it was, but someone somewhere fucking done that and ruined our whole fucking summer, because that was our spot to go to. See, after that, we were like, what? We didn't know what to bet. We were like, right, what do you do now? We had no phones back then. We used to just rock down to we used to call it the bakery, and that was us. You knew if someone was there, you used to just whistle, like the olden days, and you walked down and someone was there who you knew. And then when that went away, when that got burnt, we were like, fuck's sake, what do you do now? We were just walking around. It was like, never see a video or the photo of Pablo Escobar out of Narcos, just sitting on the swing, and that's what it was like for us for days and weeks. And we were going, who the fuck was it? And all our mates were trying to find out who it was, and no one ever owned up to it.
We as you were saying that, it actually just reminded me. So there was rats in the Short Strand. There were probably, well, I mean, when's there not a rat in the Short Strand? But this was, I want to say, in and around like 98, something like that. And there was a feed lorry that was hijacked and tipped over in the middle of Mount Pattinger Road. And it was like all horse feed or whatever it was. But basically, whenever it had tipped over, it created like a, you know, the height of it, and like all the feed kind of just ended up on the ground. So we were basically climbing up for easy 3 weeks before the thing got removed. We were climbing up onto the thing and then just jumping off into the feed. It was the best time ever. You know, you occupy yourself in the maddest of ways. Like.
Exactly. You would never see anything like that anymore. In fact, it would probably be cleaned up right away.
Anyway, it was there for 2 weeks, just in the middle.
We just one time. This is mad. One time. We all started, we were like late teenagers, probably someone doing us this age, but we cut a tree down.
I was 25.
So last week, we used to stand in court in the morning, like beside where Murray lives, and some woman, we used to stand like a wee alleyway, but this woman had like big trees at her back, and we cut one of her trees down and used it as a roadblock. And fucking pulled it right on the middle of the road, and I was lying on the trees, and every time someone got out to try and move a tree, I would have like jumped out and scared them, and then I'd run after you, and that was our way of like making crack. But like some poor had a big tree missing, so she had loads of these big trees, had a big space where we cut it down. And fucking dragged it on the middle of the road. I was like, fuck me, you'd have found a way to do anything back in the day. Like, as I say, we were like 17 or 25 or something.
I don't know what, that'd be a good crack even.
You've done that now. Imagine reliving that, like getting all your mates from years ago and go, right, I'm going to do this again. Imagine that flying down the road and some fucking 40-year-old jumps out of the tree.
There's a guy in San Francisco that does that.
Is there?
You know, he just hides behind stuff, but he hides behind like a bush. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, so yeah.
He carries it about him. And he's just like jumping out up.
See all and slow down the reaction of people and all. But see, that's what can make. Like if we had phones back then, we could have been fucking
recording that.
We could have been making reviews.
Yeah. You know what I mean? You'd have been a content.
Trees down. It'd have been in jail. It'd have been fucking the door would have been up a hall. We'd have to get a drop bar. Fuck's sake.
That's hilarious.
Oh, but they're like kids nowadays are well switched on in terms of thing. But it's probably like as an entrepreneur, it's fucking smart. It's a smart way of thinking, isn't it? Like, obviously, like,
you know what's funny? Like, and I was thinking about this a few weeks ago. See, kids nowadays, they're either like really smart and intelligent and in touch with their feelings, or they're absolute killers with cauliflower ears.
Yeah.
Like, there's no in between. There's no just normal kids rocking about.
No,
just
flying about in bikes.
Just it just doesn't happen these days.
They're just fucking on the road, grappling people.
I know, they're either like content creators that are in touch with their feelings and their emotions, or they're just absolute killers.
But like, obviously, you do the BJJ and all that as well. It's just, I feel like in the last 2 years, it's just went. I didn't even know what BJJ was. Like, I remember you when I think it was on a course when you actually started doing it.
Yeah, that's right.
And you said like you just went, I've just fell in love with it.
Oh, big time.
I remember back then going like, what even is it? Nah, I know what it is, but I mean back then that was only like that wasn't that long ago, 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't even know what that is.
So
like,
good, man.
And then now, like kids are doing it flat out. Like every I know's doing it. Everyone, adults, the amount of adults, people wouldn't take the sport at a late age, but so much adults have took this sport.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like
I think it's like you know, all right, it's complex, but it's not overly dynamic, or you can make it not overly dynamic, and you know, it's mostly like isometrics. So you know, you're holding a lot of the time, and it's very technical, even though it doesn't look it just looks like. Was it your man Theo Vaughn said, if you just look at someone doing jiu-jitsu, it looks like they're trying to search for something on each other, but neither can find it.
That's what it's like. It's like that's the best way. I was watching. I was like, that's the best way to describe it. Like,
100%.
You're trying to get somewhere.
It doesn't look complex, but it really is, and I think that's a big part of it because you never stop learning. You know, obviously, I came from a boxing background, and for me, it's okay. You know, you can learn different combinations, but it's always you're throwing hands, like you know it, and that's it. You know, and I just wasn't knew I wasn't going to improve anywhere beyond where I had gotten to when I was in my late teens or anything like that. But as an adult and taking up jiu-jitsu, you know, in my 30s, I was like, oh my God, I can get better at this forever. There's no end. It's just like you go in every single day
at that level. Of the belts, like you increase, and you're just. I love it. I like that. I like that element to the sport where it's like you're competing at the best level for your own,
within your own ability.
And then you can push on.
And
then you're restarting over again at a new level, and you're trying to. It's like.
And it's, you know yourself, like, although I dare say I don't think you've taken many beatings in your time as a fighter, like, but you know, there's times you get out as a fighter and you're just like, oh my God, that was absolutely horrendous. Like, you just got battered, and it's almost demoralizing in a sense.
Yeah, it does.
I don't get the same sort of feelings around jiu-jitsu is like, you know, you could, like, you know, big Kyle McClurkin, like, Kyle's an absolute unit, and training with Kyle, like, you know, you're getting fucked up, like, you know, you're not gonna do much against them, but even at that, you walk off and you go, fuck, I actually learned a lot there. Whereas, you know,
if you get beat up, in a boxing ring, it's just like it's embarrassing. Firstly, like, you're like, I took a header, and secondly, it's like you say, demoralizing. You're just like.
You don't even know if you learned anything.
I've done it sparring, like ran away with an Irish team. I remember when I was only on the national team, like the elite squad, and like obviously I won the Irish seniors, but that was my first time understanding like there's a difference between national boxing and international boxing. And I was throwing punches and getting hit, but I was like, why are they hit me? Like I was going, how are they hit me? It's impossible. Like I was throwing a jab and getting hit at the exact same time, and I was like, and then. Obviously, I just took it upon myself to just go and watch any major tournament I could put out of. I just went and watched every best, like the best nations, the Uzbeks, Kazakhs, Cubans, and I was just watching to see what the fuck they done different. And then over time, I just was able to implement it in my own training. And it's obviously fucking half paid off, like, but it just. When I felt sparring, I was like, fuck me, I don't belong on the side. Like, I really thought a few times on them international trips, like, this isn't for me. Fuck that. Because I was watching Paddy Barnes just playing take guard and just bullying people and just battering people.
And you were never going to fight like that?
I was like, I can't fight like that. I was watching McComb And he was like, just making it look so easy. John Joe Navin, just making it look so easy. I was like, what are they doing that I couldn't grasp it, because I couldn't see what they were doing. They just knew what they knew what the international style was. They knew that the same time punches came. They knew that the counters, like, they knew the whole game. I didn't know it. And I was watching him going, hey, like, if I copy and do what he's doing against this opponent, it wasn't working for me.
Yeah.
It wasn't until I just connected it all together and realised, like, these cunts are throwing, like, when I throw a jab, they want me to throw a jab, to throw the same time right hand or whatever. And then I was like, then the feints and all start coming together. And then you get the openings, and then over time it'll start to connect it all together, and then obviously you get what you get. But
it gets a lot more technical at that stage, does it?
Like, there's so much fucking, like, technical and tactical at that level, because it's like you're trying to suss someone out. As I say, there's feints involved. There's so many feints. There's a fucking 1,000 feints.
Yeah.
You can feint with your feet, you can feint with your eyes, you can feint with your hands, you can feint with your shoulders, you can feint whatever way you want. And then it's getting a reaction and knowing what to do with it. It's just at the level, it's just like it takes
and having to adjust in fight as well.
Yeah.
Like, I don't ever remember. And again, the level that I boxed at was nowhere near, international senior level. But I don't ever remember adjusting,
styles. It was just like
in fight. It was just, I get in there and you just throw hands. But from one fight to the next, because I remember losing to a guy, and I was like, I was just beyond stupid there.
Yeah.
I ended up arguing with Paddy Fitz in the corner, because it was just like, I'm not fucking supposed to be doing what you're telling me to do right now. And there's an argument going on.
That's what
and
happens.
Then fought him the next fight again, and actually beat him easy, because it didn't do, so
you
can go away and think about it, but I can never really think about going, fuck, I'm a round down here. Now I got to pull this back. I got to change something there. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
So I can imagine there's a lot of that, like, in the actual fight.
Oh, in the fight,
in real time,
change, like, right away. You'll see rounds, like, up, like, especially at the top level. There's a round you might lose, and there's 3 or 4 rounds you might win, and then they'll come up to they're changing as well. Do you know what I mean? So, like, if someone changes because they've lost 2 rounds, you can't keep doing the same. They're changing to beat that, but you've just beat them down, so you need to change too. It's like it's back and forward, like, between as I say at that level of, like, world level, it's tactics. Who gets the tactics right? Because everyone's technically as good as each other at that level, otherwise it wouldn't be at that level.
Yeah,
it's about who gets the tactics right on the night. So if you're beating me this round, I need to do something different.
Yeah.
I can't go out and do the same thing again, or you'll just have a field day with me.
Did you box international when it was a point scoring system?
Yeah, the first year just.
First year,
it suited media ground. Like,
yeah.
I was class that first year, and then it changed, and then I was like, fuck me, back to square one.
Back to the rounds.
And then you had to start fucking change their style again, and then it changed again. They always changed it in the amateurs, but I think now for the last load of years, it's basically just stayed the same now. Like,
yeah, because the point scoring system, I think I came in after Roy Jones got beat in Seoul, wasn't it?
Left, and then I came back again.
They
left after Seoul, and then I came back again, and then I was like, that's where the count back and stuff started coming in.
Yeah.
And then they changed it to take guard scoring, which was like 1-0s and 2-0s.
Yeah, I remember it.
But it was still points. But you could barely score a point, and then they went back to normal scoring, which was my first year. Isn't it international senior? And then,
so if you were throwing shots, and even if it was hitting the guard, you were still scoring points?
If it was getting through, it wasn't as easy as it used to be. Like, a jab wasn't scoring.
Yeah.
A simple jab wasn't scoring. It had to be like a solid jab where the head would go back.
Was body shots not scoring as well?
Yeah, but it had to be clean, or it had to be like a sound of it. But if a sound came from like a slap,
it
wasn't scoring. It had to be like... So it brought technical boxing into things. Like, we had to, like, throw a shot here rather than here. You know what I mean? Because there was a big, and the referee would warn you for slapping.
Yeah, they had the weight, the top 10 gloves and stuff.
So you had the weight. We had the land rat.
Yeah.
So it was good technical that way. But I would say, like we'll go back to the BJJ. Like, it was just it's something I would love to do, because I'm seeing loads of people doing it now who I know well, and they can already handle themselves on the street, and I'm going, fuck me, if he's learn how to do this, God. Like, my mate, someone says to me, like, Big Victor on the night, I don't even know Victor, he's fucking nuts. Someone wrote in the group chat the other day, well, Victor, did you enjoy your first night up at FAI? He went, oh, mate, it was fucking powerful. And I went, lads, don't let him go up there. The last thing we need is Big Victor on only learning how to fucking, like grapple and tie people up. Don't allow that to happen. It's fucking...
Do you know what? It's just like, I suppose, you know, the head trauma taken out of it as well is a big thing. That's why, you know, a lot of like middle-aged men take it up, because they still want to scrap, but they don't want to be going home with fucking black eyes and stuff. Yeah, it's therapeutic. And I think it's like, you know, you're a professional boxer. Like, how many knockouts you got on your...
8 or something.
8 knockouts. It's even for a professional fighter, like, it's hard to knock someone out.
Yeah.
So in like a, you know, worst case scenario, let's say you do run into trouble in some way, shape or form, it's actually easier to pin someone and choke them out. Like, you can just choke someone out with it if you hold like a, you know, a rear naked choke on, they'll be out in 10 seconds. And that's the end of it, you know what I'm saying? Whereas if you're reliant on cracking someone and knocking them out, the end of the fight, it's probably not going to happen. It's probably going to make it way worse. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because you start striking someone, and next thing, it's just going to escalate. You're not de-escalating. Whereas, you know, if you end up to scrap with someone, you take their back and choke them out, they'll wake up 15 seconds later and they're just like, all right, I'm not doing that again. Yeah. You know? So I think it's like, I mean, you know, I've said this loads of times. I know a lot of like you know, professional boxers and stuff, they'll go and they'll take up door work and stuff, you know, after their career, you know, maybe your career ends. That would have happened quite a bit. And of course, you know, someone's giving them shit. What are they going to do? They're just going to fucking, they're just going to throw hands. They're going to crack someone. You know, that could probably end up the worst. Yeah. Whereas like, if you got someone that knows some sort of grappling, wrestling, or jiu-jitsu specifically, because like wrestling, it's all pins, but jiu-jitsu, it's more forced on pinning then submitting, so there's a step further. And then it's like, you know, if you've got someone who is at least a blue belt doing the door, it's probably going to be safer, because they're just going to, you know what I mean, they're just going to take it down and they're going to hold it there.
It's just like, you're not going to be arrested for it. No one's
exactly.
Going to pin. Like, no one's going to be able to press charges. Because realistically, you're not allowed to lift your hand on the door unless it's self-defense. Yeah. And even at that, you're allowed to restrain people if they're out of order, which is part of that's what doing
security is. Yeah.
You're just restraining someone, but you can restrain them and put them in a fucking submission if you want.
Yeah.
And that's safer. They're going to get up and there's going to be no damage done, and they're probably going to slam her.
Cheers, trap, mate. Just like if it was me, see if somebody choked me out after me giving them shit when I'm half cut. You would probably just wake up and just be like,
I deserve that.
I'm an idiot. I deserve that.
You know what I mean? That's a fucking... Belfast is renowned for it. Like, there's so many like wee videos of doormen videoing people outside, like slamming at them, and I'm like, fuck me. Like, if someone just like grapples or just pulls him to the ground, it's game over. Like,
I screwed. And he's half cut as well. Like, I mean, what's he even thinking? Oh my god. I got put to sleep once in jiu-jitsu. So, you know, there's 2 different styles of jiu-jitsu. So you've got, you know, stuff with like lapels, in the gi to call it, and you've got no-gi, and there's a big guy that trains with us, big Paul Henry, and he's an absolute beast. He's just a unit of a man, you know. He's like, he's maybe mid-40s or something like that, grip like a vice. I mean, we just kind of started the round, and I kind of swept him and took top position, but I actually didn't even realise where his hand was. It was through and he had a hold of my lapel and I didn't even know. And then I took top position, got side mount and was turning around into him, you know, just to like pin him in the thing. And without even realising his hand was still there, I just went boom, just straight out and just lay on top of him. And see, but I remember just going, oh, it's time to tap. And before I even recognised it, I was out cold and everyone was standing around me and I was just looking up going, what happened there? And
was that not, did that not scare you at all? Like, go like fuck, or did you just go, I can't let that happen again?
You feel, well, it's like I can't let it happen again. Do you know what it was? I was too casual starting it off, because it's like, you know, anyone who trains jiu-jitsu, and you might even get like you kind of do get like boxing. You know the way like you start around sometimes, and you might even like be bantering with your sparring partner or something like that, or it's just it's kind of casual. You don't start. No one's going out and going crazy. Yeah, it was kind of like that. You're sussing out the pace. You're matching their energy. It was like that, and it didn't really start off. But I think it was like a case of me turning into him, coupled with him not letting go. Yeah, and especially you see when like lapels and stuff are involved. There's just so much going on.
You need to protect so many areas.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas if someone has you in a headlock here, you know what's going on. Whereas with lapels, they're just being thrown everywhere. And so after that, it was like, a big fucker. You just can't let him. You can't even use your hands to break his grip. You just need to use your feet. Yeah. So you need to like let him have his grips, but then bring your feet around and use them to kick him off.
Force the force the legs. Like, do you prefer gi or no gi?
Do you know what? At the minute, so I go through periods of both. So at the minute, I'm doing like loads of training in the gi, but then whenever I roll with you know, some of the MMA guys like Kyle, and whenever I roll like semi-fits and stuff, I always go back to no-gi. You know what I'm saying? Because they're just big lads. And they're just...
But if they have a gi, as I say,
they have more to grip on to. Yeah, exactly.
They've more in their favour to use, you know what I mean?
So with them, at least, you know, like slippage or sweating and all, you can get out of certain things and you can use athleticism, which suits me if you're a smaller guy. But it just depends. Like, it's so... like I say, it's so technical. It's like, you know, I recommend to everyone. I want my kids to do it, and I always say, like, if you don't want your kids involved in, you know, boxing or whatever, because it's an unbelievable sport as well for discipline and, you know, just teaching you how to carry yourself and, you know, just be more confident and whatever. Even if it's not that, like, get your kids into grappling of some shape, you know, just make sure
people,
that they...
People always ask me, like, would you ever go into MMA or go into, like, I would if I wasn't as good as I am at boxing.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
I believe anyone that went into, like, even like McGregor, who was a fucking, like, a phenomenal athlete at one stage, he just wasn't good enough for boxing.
Yeah.
Steered him in that direction, which is fucking brilliant.
Some people are just more all-rounders, aren't they?
And I'm like, if I wasn't as good as I am at boxing, I would definitely win in there, because I love sparring. I love the fucking element of, like, competing. Even in my own training, I can't, like, I know, like, I've done the course and like, I'm coaching myself and I've got my own gym and all, but, like, I need something to compete for. I can't just go and train. Like, see, Marty and Gary will train, and they, like, I don't know what their goal is. Like, they want to look better, want to feel better. What makes them? None of that makes me feel better. Yeah. Competing makes me feel better. So like, maybe when I retire, I'll probably go into like the likes of Jiu-Jitsu, just something that'll keep me competing and keep me, like, because I have that in me, and that's the only thing that motivates me. And it's probably like not allowing someone to have, like, get one over me. It's like, nope. Competitive, too competitive, and I know everyone's competitive, but I just can't compete with myself when it comes to, like, I want to be. Yeah,
you need accountability, or you need someone pressing you as well. That's
exactly it. I need to be like, he fucking got me on a choke the other day. I'm gonna do this time. I need to be thinking all the time. Like, I need to, like, get one over someone constantly. That's what keeps me fucking accountable.
Yeah, you're built for that game.
I just need to, like, even like running. I'm like, I'll do the 10k runs, no sweat. I'll just do it because I want to fucking beat people. I want to, like, you know what I mean? I want to just run as fast as I can. I don't want to do a marathon. Fuck that, because I just want to run. And I know I can run, so I'll run as fast as I can for 10k. I don't go, fuck, there's no training behind it, but I just want to know. And, like, RD runs, so I'm like, and I beat him all the time, and he's like, fucking... he's like, if you can't be able to do a marathon, I don't know if I can do a marathon, because I've never done it. I've never given you the opportunity to beat me in a marathon, so I'm never doing one. Do you know what I mean? I'll just keep doing the 10Ks and keep smoking you. You keep fucking running away with all your wee running club, and I'll just keep training, but I'll keep beating you in the 10Ks.
Fucking right.
And then that's what keeps me accountable. So that'll be, like, obviously after boxing, I'll probably go into something like that, or high rocks or something.
Yeah.
That'll keep me training. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Fuck that high rocks.
Because you obviously, a lot of fucking boxers go into, like, they just don't train. Like, Carl Frampton doesn't train at all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't know how anyone could do that, though.
I don't, because I love training, love running, but I can very easily see why, because it's so stressful on your body throughout your career, where we're not training to better ourselves in terms of physicality. Like, we're actually training to be better, to beat someone. That's it.
Yeah.
Simple as that. Like, and then the end, like, the motivation in the end is money.
Yeah.
Pure and simple money.
I suppose it takes the love out of it as well.
Like, if you're not, I love how I feel after training, and every boxer that ever boxed will tell you they love how you feel after training. There's no doubt about it, but you still can't wait your fight's over so you can get a break. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's always crazy. Like, something you're thinking of, and it's like, how do you adjust that way of thinking? Like, I've no fights. I've had no fights. Like, even in the I've had one or two. I can't sign a contract when I fell through, and I've just had setback after setback. But I still train every day, just because I love it. Now, I don't even have anything fucking planned out. I just go. I just got up in the morning, I ain't going running here. Or I ain't going to do a bag session. I get up. I just wing it in the morning.
We need to sort this out. So clip this one, right? If you're watching this, that means that, you know, you're listening to the Public Nuisance Podcast and you're getting value from Sean McComb. So make sure you reciprocate, tag Eddie Hearn in this and tell him to sort this man out. He owes him. Get this man a fight. Barbosa knows he lost to him. Who's Barbosa fighting next? Catterall?
Jack Catterall on Saturday.
Jack Catterall.
Be interesting.
Get this man the winner of those two.
Give me the winner.
Let's go. Tag Eddie Hearn in this if you're watching. Let's go.
100%. Let's go, Eddie. Uncle Ed, let's go. But yeah, definitely fucking, it's something I need to, like, think about, because, like, retirement creeps up and a lot of people are writing quick. But, like, Paddy Barnes, he's a wee fuck, right? He's happy as Larry. He'll tell you straight. He's a human barrel. Yeah. He put up a photo yesterday of him at the Commonwealth Games in 2014. He looked like a corpse. Twig. And I mean, he says, I'm a fat wee cunt right now, but I'm a happy fat wee cunt right now. For now. So, like, he's happy as Larry. Yeah. He does fucking high rocks classes and he does CrossFit flat to the mat. Yeah. He's a strong wee cunt, but he's a cheating as well.
Get him back in the combat sports. Like, there's nothing beats combat sports though, is there? Just in terms of all right, those high rocks things you can work for time and all, but as you say, see when you've got someone there who's pressing you hard.
Yeah, you need it. It's different. You need that. Like you definitely need a bit of I'll definitely go in the combat sport after I retire. Like at the minute, I'm afraid. I'm actually afraid of going to combat sport in case I start enjoying it more in boxing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
If I was to put the time and effort into anything in the world, I would be like, say, I could be a doctor right now, or I could be like a surgeon if I put the same time and effort into being a surgeon as I did as a boxer. Because like when I think back of the hours and hours I sat on my own, even going to major competitions and just watching like the Uzbeks and the Kazakhs and just going like learning different styles on my own. Just done this on my own, and I was like. And then in the gym, all the hours in the gym training, trying to put them into practice. Some of them not working, getting hit, wondering why they're not working, adjusting stuff all the time.
Did you watch any really old fighters? When I say old fighters, I'm talking about like 70s, 80s, anything like that?
Like Sugar Ray Leonard and all, I would have watched a good bit of that. Like the Four Kings, Marvin Hagler, Roberto Duran, stuff like that. I never ever really took anything away from them, to be honest.
Yeah. Did it seem like just a different style of fighting to you? It always looked that way to me.
People will always ask this question, and I think it's stupid because there's different eras, different like. Yeah. There's going to be, like, people say Muhammad Ali's the greatest ever. Yeah. Fair enough. People say Mike Tyson's the greatest heavyweight ever. Fair enough. People are asking now, would Alexander Usyk beat Tyson, Mike Tyson in a fight? Who knows? Like, they're just different styles. Mike Tyson was like ferocious for what I could do. Alexander is a complete technical genius. Alexander Usyk. Muhammad Ali was technical. Would Mike Tyson beat Muhammad Ali? Who knows? Like, I mean, it's just they're just questions that are always never going to be answered because the boxing game changes. Now, if you ask me, and you look at the technicality side of things and the all round boxing, Alexander Usyk's better than the two of them.
It's just always
because he's just
always evolving. It's always improving.
It's always it's always evolving all the time, and it'll evolve again. And
you have to imagine that whoever comes behind him will be 100%. Whoever dominates like he does.
Like Mayweather, people go Mayweather's greatest ever, and then you're looking at Terence Crawford. Now people going like Terence Crawford beat Mayweather, and I'm going just let them be the best of their era, and just let us just keep advancing the game and just get people getting better and learning new styles like Lomachenko, Alexander Usyk can learn people and then we small circles take guard.
It's crazy, isn't
using the feet work as well as a pressure fighter. It's like there's so much.
Who was the best you ever seen in person?
In person, probably Andy Cruz, the guy I fought in the World Championships.
you got to see him legit in person in the ring. Yeah,
he was the reason I turned pro. Like, because I beat the world champion, the Russian world champion, the current world champion. Beat him twice in 1 year, and he was an Olympic bronze medalist. And then I was like,
did he beat Cruz in the Worlds? No,
Cruz wasn't at my weight at the Worlds.
Ah, right, okay.
He he was 56 kilos and he moved up to 64 kilos.
Yes, that's right, yeah.
And he just fucking dominated. And I thought when I watched him, I watched him on YouTube and I was like, I'll beat him. I know how to beat him. And I got in the ring with him and I was like, what the fuck am I doing here? Like, I remember at that first round I was going like, but like, what the fuck did I do here? Like, I didn't even know what to do. It was just like, he was just, I thought he was well out of range. Next thing he was just boom, 3 small steps, just boom, just touching my head back every time. I was like, how is he getting
it wasn't even like, it wasn't even like an aggressive fight. Yeah.
And then when you watch clips of him, video clips of him, it's like no one can get him. No one's beat him. No one's ever beat him. You know what I mean? And like from he moved up to 64, he's just cleaned up World Championships, Olympic gold. He's just cleaned up. He's pro now. He's number like 3 in the world or something. He's only have 5 fights. And it's probably gonna be. I don't know if anyone's gonna beat him unless
he's lightweight, isn't he?
He's lightweight.
Still lightweight, yeah.
Fuck. I'm super lightweight. Keep him down there.
I'm not calling him out now.
Fuck.
Yeah, do you think it'll be different for him in the pro game though? You know, because it's like, all right, you've got all those wee shots as an amateur, and you know, you see those Cubans that turn pro, and they're just not the same as what they were. It's almost like they've had their best years as amateurs. They get a few quid, and then it kind of leaves them a little bit. He just seems like an absolute athlete as well. So I don't know if it would be the same.
They've matched him hard now. In fairness, they had to get him his ranking, to get him up to, like, he fought a tough action, very tough action, and he was just boom, boom, boom. But he has this element where he's not going to do it anymore to look for like knockout punches. He's getting in the box for 10 or 12 rounds, and he doesn't curve knock shit. He's just in there, boom, boom, boom. He's brought an amateur, like Lomachenko done it. He brought this amateur pace until
the
pro game, and he's just peppering people. Usyk does it, peppering people. So like it's still enjoyable to watch, even though you're not knocking people out, especially for the boxing purist. He's just going around peppering people, and that's what Andy Cruz is doing at the minute. And if he can sustain that for 10 or 12 rounds, which he can do because we've seen it, he's like, who the fuck's going to beat him? That's what the way I look at it, because I've been in the ring with him, and like it's just fucking, it's hectic.
Yeah, like you imagine Tank or Shakur, like they'll not want any smoke with him, and not at this stage of his career. Like they'll probably just well, in saying that, like Shakur seems to be up for anything, doesn't he?
Shakur's class too, like pure fucking genius at what he does. Like he seems like he doesn't train. He controls the tempo of every fight. He's walking around the ring. It's just so switched on and so confident in his ability. He can go at the same tempo all the time and just control it. And I mean, like, be good to be interesting to see, but technically I still think Andy Cruz is better, like, and I think Andy Cruz would beat him.
I seen Rigo up close at the World Championships in 2001. Yeah, I was working at them, so I got to sit ringside the whole time. I was, so they had like spare headgear and gloves and stuff sitting on the wee table in between the two rings, so if there was like a malfunction with anything, I was a kid running up and giving it. I was only like 15, what was I, 15, 16, something like that. And because it was like it was the Ulster Council were mostly running it, so they said, listen, you can get a job on it, you can work for a few days, whatever. I was like, happy, you'll get to watch the fights. But see, sitting backstage in the change rooms and all, because you were walking out and you had to gather the headgear and stuff again just to make sure people weren't stealing them. And I was sitting in the change room with all the Cubans when they were warming up, doing the pads and all. And Felix Savon, he was over, but he got sent home for something. Don't know what he done. Yeah, he was something dodgy going on.
It's like all them Cubans, like they're leg or the drink, like
he got sent home.
Majors, like.
But see, just watching him backstage, and then like Rigo, I think he was only like 21 at the time.
Yeah,
something like that. And in his first fight, he fought like the Asian Games champion, and he sparked him within like 8 seconds or something like that.
I remember watching that on YouTube. He had an overhand left.
That was insane. It was nuts. Like I remember just looking at it, and the whole place was just quiet. You know, it was a good squad in the Odyssey, but everywhere just went quiet. It was like, what the fuck just happened there?
I remember watching a clip with him and Katie Taylor, like doing a wee bit of sparring, messing about, and I was watching it going, like, he's only messing about, but the speed he was able to move his feet from one side of the ring to the other, like boom, 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 while toying. I was like, that's insane what he can do. Like,
and Marty Lindsay said he sparred him as well when they went to, I think, the Ulster squad before like a Commonwealth Games years ago. I don't know if you remember this here, but they got brought to Cuba in preparation for the Commonwealth Games because it was a really good squad they had and everything else. But they went out there and were sparring Rigo and killers,
you know,
just their absolute their A players, like, and obviously they weren't having much success. And at the time, there was talk of, well, you shouldn't have fucking brought them to Cuba because
exactly
you're just going out there and getting
battered.
And then you're sending them to Commonwealth Games, and it's like, see, when
no
you're low on confidence and everything else. So I think there was a bit of that. But I remember Marty talking about sparring Rigo, and he was like, it wasn't even the fact that it was taking, beating or anything like that. It was just the fact that you were throwing shots and you were hitting thin air, and then he was just, as you say, peppering. He was catching your shots out of nowhere, and it was just like, I don't know what's going on here.
That's exactly what I felt. I just remember sitting on the bus like that, and Bernard Dunn was like, they just trying to talk to me. I was like, it's just like, go away, like, there's nothing I can say. Like, so my head coach like, you fucking watched him on YouTube, why are you watching without me? I was like, I watched him with you and I watched him on my own. I thought I could beat him. He's like, I know you tell yourself you never beat him. I says, I watched him and thought I was going to beat him. 1,000,000% confident I beat him. I thought it was too big for him, too long, too rangy. And out of nowhere, he was fucking hit me. So fuck off, leave me alone. Fuck's sake, get my headpiece. And Bernard Dunn was like, I was like, nah, fuck off. No one's beating him. I'm going to be honest with you now. No one is going to beat him.
Yeah.
And after my fight, I says, no one's going to beat him. And he went on 1 gold. And so I was like, your boy won gold? I was like, oh, he did win gold. He's like, he's good, he's fucking special boy. Oh, serious shit. And he's still never lost.
He hasn't lost a fight since.
So I says, that's when I said, I ain't going pro. Like, I says, what's the point in wanting to go to the Olympics just to be an Olympian? I wanted to go win gold after beating the world champion, and like, fuck, and everyone was like, fuck, I've beat him twice. And they're like, fuck, who's this? And then you go and he comes there in the war and batters me, and I'm like, who's this? I was just like, fuck, and I'm going pro. That was my decision to go pro, because obviously the ambition of being an Olympic champion was just gone, and I wasn't being, it was just being real. There's no point in fuck. There's so many people out there who are fucking full of shit and brainwashed, like, oh, he's gonna be world champion. They're not. You're not gonna be world champion. Call speed a speed. You're not.
Yeah.
And if I never thought for one, I love the people think that they're gonna be like world champions. It's good to see it, but like, be real.
Yeah.
You can base it off who you spar with and who you're in the ring with, and how you're performing. I can't understand how people get motivated to go to training when they have absolutely no chance. They spend their time and effort when they've no chance. And
or at least just accepting the fact that you're probably going to be a journeyman for something. You're probably, or
when like maybe you have a week old when like a
British
Celtic
title
or British title, like, and that's it. Be happy at that. Don't be like, oh, you're not going to be world champion. Like, fuck me. I didn't even have, I always wanted to be world champion, but I've competed at the highest level of the game. Yeah. And when I spar world champions, and I'm getting the better of them. Yeah. So I'm being realistic with myself. But see, if I was trying to get my battered, I'd go, fuck it, for another sport. I'd be in Jiu-Jitsu, I'd just go to another sport. You know what I mean? So, like, just don't be wasting any more fucking time and effort on taking beatings and then going, I'm going to be world champion, because you're not. Yeah. It's just fucking simple fact. That's the way it is.
I could never even understand. I mean, there was a load of guys that I fought with, and they were, mid-tier fighters, like, and there was guys that, like, I had beat several times, and I was like, I ain't fucking good now. I ain't even good enough to box in the seniors. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's not be real.
And why would I turn pro? It's like, I'm just going to get the head cleaved off me, or, like, worse, like, take actual trauma.
Yeah.
Some of these guys
you were smart enough to get out fucking early enough, but people still take it.
Yeah, I always wanted to, go into business, because I seen my dad in business for years as well. Like, so that was just a distraction in a way, So I was always
going to give you a background, didn't it? I give you a good background. In the direction.
Because you needed it.
You don't want, you're down bars and stuff. Like, that's like, it's like too opposite of like direction. So it gives you your direction, obviously. Firstly, so it's good you've done it anyway.
Yeah, and I needed it working in the bar at the bottom of West Belfast.
Yeah, 100%. So they're actually in business, you know what I mean? And you were probably one of the first one. You were the first one to know enough go in that direction of like PT and opening the fucking course. It was elite first, wasn't it?
We were elite. So we were a franchise we bought the franchise first of all, and then obviously created our own franchise over the last 3 years with ECA. But we started out as elite. The headquarters was in Dublin, and so I knew the guys and had done courses with Sean and Jay, and you know, throughout the years and just knew them and knew what they were doing and everything else. And I was like, I could bring this here to Belfast, you know, because at the time there wasn't really...
Belfast needed it big time. Like.
It did. At the time, the only option that people really had, and this was 8 years ago, was either tech or it was like online courses, you know, so for your listeners, it's like personal trainer courses. But, you know, they were very limited in terms of, because if you look at the popularity of the industry now, you know, with small group PT gyms, there was basically none of that really about. The first one in Belfast was Centaur. Realistically, that was kind of coaching people in that way and doing like 12-week transformations and stuff. And that kind of sort of started it. But I think, you know, we were fortunate that we started it in that time because it was just about to explode. And so, you know, I kind of recognized that the gym industry was going mental and that the education, you know, the entry level was subpar, you know, it was like horrendous. So I was like I could do something about this, because we were getting people that were coming to us, you know, other trainers that were coming to us for coaching anyway. And were coming to learn kettlebells and stuff, because I was competing in kettlebell sport, because I'm a header, and that's just fucking, it's just the type of shit that I like to do. And and we were getting people that was coming to us for that, and I was like, well, you know, why don't they just turn this into a thing, and have done for the last 8 years?
Because like techno, like obviously I done the course years, like there's people at all levels, all ages. No fucking 40 or 50 was going to go into tackle punch 17-year-olds.
Nah.
Do your personal training course.
This
is it. Like it was perfect. Like, and the amount of people, I think it was definitely 2 or 3 on our one. It was over like 40 maybe.
We would get that quite a bit.
Fuck me, it's good to see that, like, it's an open door to everyone. And it gives everyone the opportunity to develop new fucking skills in later life. And
100%. Well, this is it. I mean, like, the way I say to people is the fitness industry is for everyone. And I think that a lot of the time it's sort of set up for the people that are already doing it. They're already fit and healthy. You know, you've mentioned High Rocks a few times. If you were to like go to your aunt who hasn't set foot in the gym and say, here, do you want to do this High Rocks thing? She's going to look at it and just be like, people watching, time, all of these scurry exercises, all the pressure. It's just not going to be, you know, it's not realistic. And so it's good to do when you get them in through the door. And so I say to people all the time, listen, the fitness industry is for everyone, not just for the people that are already fit and healthy, because they're already doing it anyway. So, you know, if you're in your, you know, your 30s or 40s, there's a high probability that you know a whole bunch of people, because 70% of people don't train at all. Right? So you know a whole lot of people who would never dream of going to the gym, only you, because they know you. And so, and they ask you, what do you do about nutrition? What do you do about training? You know, they're just generally interested in it because they've maybe thought about doing something, and you're their entry into it. You know, so it's like, I mean, a lot of my messaging would be geared towards people who are maybe in their 30s and 40s who probably just regret not doing it sooner.
It's
never too late.
That would be like the avatar for our gym. Like, like that's why we had that beginner program and shit, just because we were like, that's like, we need to target beginners big time, because I feel like, as you say, there was, like, probably back when they were in their, like, late teens, say 18, I know, like, 18 to 30, there probably was no gyms, probably leisure centres.
Definitely.
The leisure centres and didn't do, like, people here over 40 now went in the leisure centre and hadn't a fucking clue what they were at.
No guidance, no nothing
guidance
either.
whatsoever, and they've probably went a handful of times and went for a swim and then get up and home. That was probably the head of their exercise. And the peak of their life now, they're not in the peak of their life no more, and they just feel like they can't go to any gym because it's like, fuck, I don't even know what I'm doing. Scary. That's the reason why you should go. That's exactly the reason why you should go to any gym, because you're going to, like, we want you here. We really want you here. You know what I mean? To help you and give you all that fucking shit that you've missed out on for the last 10 years.
I love seeing people, you know, who have, I see at the height of it all, like, obviously, you know, that we have hundreds of students come through our door every year and across different locations and stuff now. But just seeing those guys, you know, some of them might post like results from someone and I see it and it's just some ordinary fella who was, you know, doing nothing, hadn't really trained much, and next thing you know, they're competing in High Rocks and they're jacked and their lives have turned around. Like, like, fuck everything else. That's what it's all about at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you want to teach.
I see people coming into your facility and, you know, people that you've told me about, and they're like, they were doing nothing with their lives. You know what I'm saying? Like, they were actually going down a really bad path. Maybe it was like drink, drugs, all of this stuff, and then they found yous, and next thing you know, they've turned it around.
Big time. It's like you don't realise until now we have this wee community in our gym where it's just like everyone who comes in is like, there's a few people in our gym and they're just, I've seen in 12 months what I don't like. It's mad because I don't like when the first went through the door. I was like, they not last the crack here. Like, I would like say to Marty, they're fucked. Like they're not gonna last the crack in here. And like fast forward 12 months and they're like the fucking pillar of our gym. Like
crazy, isn't it?
They live, sleep, they train 6-7 times a week, and they are like the biggest personalities in our gym. And when they come through the door, some of them. One person left with a panic attack on his consultation. His first day, he's like, I can't do it. I was like, relax. He was sitting. I was like, chill out, just relax. I'll go get you water. And then fast forward 12 months, he's run the show.
Isn't that crazy?
And it's like that difference and that change in his personality. I'm like, what the fuck? This person has always been this person.
Yeah.
But he would never have became it if he hadn't have stepped through the door. And through that, that nerve-wracking fucking experience of walking into the gym, which every gym is going to be intimidating walking into it, but you tell yourself it.
Stay there for a bit.
You know what I
mean? So see where I live, the bins is a track, you know, so see bringing out the bins, like you have to go down this big fucking hill, and especially when we have 2 black bins and a brown bin, so I always nab the kids. I'm like, boys, go and get a bin. And not doing 4 runs up and down this fucking thing. So like, boys, go and grab a bin. And them 2, all right, you know, they're huffing all about it, but the 2 of them will follow me down with a bin. And just the other day, this kind of dawned on me. We got right in the bottom of the lane and we parked the bins, and I knew what was going to happen. One of them shouted, last one up the house has to do the dishes. And then the 3 of us bombed up the hill, you know, just to have a race, but it was all just, you know, a bit of a laugh anyway. And I got to the top of the hill, and then I just stopped and thought to myself, like, it was so funny because the 2 of them were laughing, and I was, you know, running up the catch on them, and then the 2 of them they're quick enough, like. And then I got to the top of the hill, and I was just like, there's some parents out there that can't do that shit, you know what I'm saying? 100%. Like, I'm 40 now, and I'm sure there's some parents who could maybe run 3 meters and think they're, you know what I mean, their heart's going to
stairs,
pound through their chest, couldn't do it. And I was like, my boys love that, you know. I was running up behind them, and I was like, I want to catch on you, and they were fucking laughing their wee nuts off. And it actually really dawned on me. I was like, that's a sin, the fact that, you know, most parents can't have that interaction with their kids and that experience. And it was minor, you know. It's not Disneyland. It's nothing like us here.
Very small, but it's experience for the kids to go up and be like, you know what I mean? That should be enough to make a switch go for anyone to go, fuck it. I seen a video on, I don't know if you've seen this before. There's some girl, and she's a heavy girl. It's in America. It's in one of these foreign countries or something, but she's pushing a pram, and she's taking the stuff out of the pram and putting it in the back of the car. And
I seen this just the other day.
And she tries to run and falls, and she can't get up. She's not fit enough to get herself up off the ground.
And it was going on the main road.
It's going on the main road, and the pram's going, and there's traffic flying up and down, and that fella runs across and stops the pram. Now imagine being that girl and being like, what the fuck? I'm watching that back. If she hasn't done something about her life after watching that video, like, that's it.
What's the point?
What's the point? And if any parent out there felt that if that happened to them and they were in that same position, that should be enough to trigger you to be like, what the fuck? I need to sort my shit out.
Yeah.
Like, even I was like, fuck. I can't ever.
I was freaking out watching. I was running after them. I was mentally chasing the pram.
I was nearly going to go the fuck. I can't see it no more. I was like, oh, fuck. Oh,
crazy.
Jesus Christ, but that was enough.
Yeah, I mean, it's female in that scenario as well. Like, but I always like kind of picture men, because I got you have a young son, and I got 2 young boys as well. It's like I think about that all the time. Yeah. You know, what sort of influence am I having on them? Because I always say to people, you know, you tell your kids you can do anything in life, but what the fuck are you doing? You're not doing the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. And habits are caught, not taught. So it's like every day I'm thinking about, like, what am I influencing them with? You know, and I think that was a big part of the reason why I actually started Jiu-Jitsu as well, because I wanted to get him into some sort of combat sport, but I wasn't going to start going throwing hands again.
Fuck that. I'm the same. I need my wee lad, like he's been in trouble a few times in school, but it's like throwing hands, but he's only fucking 4, like, and he strangled someone, and I'm like, you can't do that. You can't do that. Yeah. But he's not learning that off me. He's like, it's fucking watching his iPads on, and because the teacher was able to tell me exactly who he said he was being, and like a character.
Right.
And I was like, Carver, you can't do that. Like, it's just not allowed. Like, and I'm trying to. I was like, why? But I was like, just you can't. Simple as that. Don't do it ever again. I'm telling you. So I took his iPad off him for about fucking 2 weeks. He hasn't done it again, thankfully. But it's like imagine he was fucking. Imagine I was doing the PJs. Yeah,
I know.
I fucking don't bring him in the gym, and I have Matt's there, and he was in the school. He fucking had some. They're fucking rear naked choke like that.
That's inevitable. Like, that's inevitable.
Out in the playground, fucking kids tapping all over the place.
Do you want him boxing? Do you?
Only for disciplinary reasons, because I do feel like maybe it's down to coaching as well. Like a lot of the coaches that we were talking about earlier are all old school, like Mickey Hawkins, Paddy Fitz. Like they're all like Jerry Story. They're all old school people with good manners and they teach you good manners.
Yeah,
so
true.
He was such a good mentor to me, like growing up. And like I was a fucking hater growing up. Like there's no point in calling like telling lies, but I was a fucking lunatic. And Mickey always kept me right, even though like my dad and all, like I was always afraid of my dad and stuff, but I could hate stuff with that. I couldn't really hate stuff because he would have always found out off someone. You know what I mean? And he would have kept me right. And the discipline I received from him and keep me right and bring me places and like threaten me, you're not under nothing, so you don't fucking. And I'm like, right, okay, right. No, a fear of like losing out.
Yeah.
Always kept me right. And then even like going to All Ireland's, like we were down and we got the friend. He was like, yo, like teach the manners, no, like put that back. No, if you're lifting something off, there's a grenade bar. There's a wee grenade. I put that back. Only that, and I'll be back here again. And you know, like, shit, I'm only messing about. No one of them ones. So you always had that discipline because of like a mentor, a senior mentor like that in your life early, who's around you all the time. Especially like as I say, my dad, like we were all like hard afraid of our dad, but he wasn't with us in them situations when you're with all the lads. When all the lads down in Dublin, you're fucking messed about. I wasn't with my dad, but Mickey was with me. Yeah. And that's when you're at your worst like state of being a messer and running around being a rocket. Yeah. Mickey seen me when I was a rocket, and he was able to cut it out. And then over time, and you're with him every tournament, it was like you sort of knew like I'll not lift that. No. Yeah. As time went on, I was like. And then like people eating, I was always a good eater. I wasn't like people were like like smacking them, like being like gorbs. Like new people come into the people who took on boxing later on. And Mick was like, yo, stop eating like that. And I was like, I know, like fuck me, because that annoyed me. Like, but I'm glad Mickey would say it because I wouldn't say it. But just wee stupid things like that. Yeah, and I just want to have that from a wee lad, just because I'll go into coaching when I retire, like. But I won't coach him. I'll let someone else do it. Because I don't want to have that. Don't want to have that pressure of like, my dad wants to, and come home. The father-son dynamic. Because I got the patience for it. I would just be like, he's shit. If he's not good enough, I'll just be like, you're shit. I would get too competitive. You know what I mean? I'd just go and coach your kids and that young Michael Hawkins or something, coach him. And he's
Paddy Fitz, like. I don't remember those times, although I'm sure they kind of did happen. But I was like very emotional fighting. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like I can actually remember losing a fight that I thought I didn't lose, and actually, I was 18 years of age, crying my lamps out because I trained so hard for it, worked so hard for it, and you notice that yourself. And then sitting fucking in the club afterwards, like actually physically crying. So I used to get emotional, and even I remember like one fight where. Like I won, and because it was a massive underdog and absolutely annihilated the guy. And then, you know, after the fight was over in like second round or something, I guess here, run over and just went fucking kicked the ropes and all. And, you know, either side, Paddy was like one of those ones where say if you were getting emotional, you know, crying, he was like, listen, you know, get your chin up, you want to fight, let's move on. Or I remember in that scenario where I run over and fucking kicked the ropes and all, he was like, fucking calm down, what's wrong with you? Yeah. It was like, you're getting too excited there in the sense that it's almost like a relief
for someone else.
Well, there was the respect thing as well, but it was almost like you were jumping for too much joy because you weren't expecting that to happen. It's like we expected that to happen. Will you relax? So I think it was more scenarios like that was really good for me, because either I think I've learned to be a wee bit more stoic as I've got older. You know, you've no other choice.
I was a crybaby. Like, any time I lost, I would have went into high stories crying. Like, that time Burn was trying to talk to me. I didn't want to talk to him because I was crying. I was 25. I was sitting on the bus like that, and I was crying my eyes out, just like. And he just kept trying to talk to me. I was like, I don't want to talk. Just like, I was just crying, going like, that's me done there. I'm done with amateur boxing. I was just like crying. Like, I'm always emotional.
I wouldn't have thought that of you, like.
Oh, I was just, when I lost, I was just so heartbroken at myself. See, when I lost, any time I lost, when I was carried up, I felt like someone close to me died. That's the heartache, like the heartbreak I felt. I was just sitting going like, I just couldn't talk to anyone for ages, because it was just, I would have cried my eyes out. I used to just cry and get it out of me, or just throw a towel at me and just sit and cry. And no matter what, it right up until I was a senior boxer. And then, like, obviously now I'm just like...
Yeah, I suppose you get older and, you know, you take a loss now and you're just like, fuck it, is what it is.
Like, when I lost at Gavin Gwynn, I was the same. I just sat and going like, what? Like, I think it was more crying at the fact that it didn't perform, and it didn't even try and perform, and it didn't want to be here, and the child was going to be born, and it was like, what the fuck am I doing here? Like, and it was just the whole thing. I was just like, I didn't care about the fake, because I remember crying, going like, what the fuck am I doing here? Like, and our day and all was over, it was locked down. We were trying to talk, and I was just like, go away, I just don't. I was getting drug tested, and there was fucking 2 cuts in my eyes, had to get stitched, and I was like, I just want to go away somewhere and just cry, just let me cry. And when I lost the Barbosa, it was like, I was alright. It was like, fucking, I think, because I didn't get beat up and I didn't lose. In my eyes, I thought I performed very well, but it was just like, fucking, I was heartbroken, but not the same way, not emotionally heartbroken. Because I was happy with my performance. I was happy that I knew that I was able to perform on a big stage where people will then go, fuck, he is as good as you fucking, as you say, like.
And it came out the worst because now no one wants to fight you.
Me, so fuck. You listening, Eddie? Get it sorted.
Eddie Hearn. Tag Eddie Hearn in this. Make sure this 100%. Happens.
But yes, we'll call it here, and we'll call it a day. But thanks for coming on, lad.
Yeah, pleasure.
I know you're a busy man, so thanks for coming on, lad. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, mate.